Volcano in southeastern Iceland erupted again today for the third time since December. Earthquake activity began early this morning, and the volcano began spewing lava out of a nearly 2-mile-long fissure. About 30 minutes later, officials say the eruption could threaten roads, a nearby power plant, and the Blue Lagoon thermal spa. That's a big tourist attraction.
It is.
We have a look at the extraordinary images and how it's impacting locals.
After weeks of anticipation, a volcano in Iceland has finally erupted. The eruption occurred shortly after an earthquake struck the region more than 30 miles from the nation's capital of Reykjavik. Nearly 4,000 people were evacuated from the immediate area. Last month, Vincent Druin is joining us now. He's a geophysicist at the Iceland Meteorological Office. Easy for you to say. Thank you so much for joining us. So help us understand what's going on at this moment.
I mean, so far, we are monitoring the situation closely because, we see that there is, a very big eruption. This one is much bigger than the previous one we had in Reykjanes in 2020. I mean, it's the fourth eruption we have. But this one is a fissure, as you can see on the video now, is much longer than what we've seen. So, the amount of lava that will be, created in, erupted in this initial hours really matter, to see how big the lava flow will get. And if it could potentially reach the town. I mean, the town has been evacuated, but there is a risk that it could reach it so far.
There's been a lot of anticipation of this. given that there's been a lot of waiting, is it a surprise by how the eruption has occurred so far? How easy is it to know the boundaries of what to expect, or is it all very much up for grabs?
I mean, this one, like we had this very big, like magmatic intrusion 1 month ago, and now everything was getting very quiet. So we're expecting maybe that will be the end of it for this, but we were expecting that something will start anytime soon. And like now at tonight, like a seismicity started, and the magma found the easiest way to travel before it traveled horizontally in the crust. But like this time, like it was more easy for it to travel vertically, so it started to erupt. And like the scale of it, I mean, we know it could be big, but like it's quite big to our standard. Now the big question is how it will go. Like the last two eruptions, they start very strong and they like slowly like decrease with time. So they were like ended up in a matter of a few days or weeks. But like the first one, like it started relatively small and then double in intensity and stayed like that for 6 months. So if this one was decided to do that, to be a long sustained eruption, it could be very problematic.
And very problematic means what? Essentially that the town becomes severely threatened?
Yeah, I mean, like if it lasts for like I guess a matter of weeks, like the town of Grindavik could be partially destroyed, overrun by lavas. And the bigger concern also in the area is that we have this power station that provide water and electricity for large parts of the peninsula. And if they were anticipating this, so they build like levees and dams around this power station, but they're only so big. So if the eruptions continue to be that big, they won't last very long. And then like once the dam are overrun, the power station could be destroyed, and then we will lack water and electricity for huge part of the peninsula. This would be very problematic.
Indeed. Vincent Druin, thank you so much for being with us.
A spectacular image of fire and ice in Iceland, where a volcano has awakened. Yesterday, officials say the size of the eruption continues to diminish. The volcano began erupting Monday near a fishing town that was evacuated last month. Lava and smoke spewed more than 300 feet into the air. The eruption is not expected to release large amounts of ash into the air, though.
Iceland officials say the volcanic eruption in a small town southwest of Reykjavik has been steadily slowing down since Monday. Now, this allowed 4,000 people who evacuated to briefly return home today. However, the Icelandic Meteorological Office says it is still too early to declare the eruption over.